Hi everyone, welcome to another edition of Everything Seaplace. My name is Mike Renick. I am your host for this. I appreciate everyone watching. I have a special guest, Mr. Mike Angers. Mike, your title?
Brown & Brown Insurance, Senior Vice President.
So Mike is the broker of record for Seaplace. We worked really close together in the past year to bring us to where we are. I thought it would be good to just take a few minutes and chat about maybe where we have to head. The market, if I had to pick an adjective, and let me know if you agree, is challenging.
Challenging is a good, safe one.
Okay.
Yeah.
We could think of a lot of other words.
Yeah.
So we went through a part where insurance was $700,000 roughly a couple years ago. It went up to 3.4, and then through some significant work here, we've been able to get some big savings with that. So as we look at this thing going forward, though, in a few months we'll be back into the fray.
All right.
Now, at Seaplace, we're in better shape. We ended up with full coverage. You've shared there's properties on the islands that couldn't get full coverage.
Correct.
And so we got all that behind us. We have, is it safe to say, the newest, I'm from Michigan, so roofs on the island?
I think you do. You're right there. But a lot of people are changing them because that's a hot topic right now. Roofs are the number one concern for the insurance carriers right now. So you definitely did the right thing by putting on the new roofs, put yourself in the best position possible for the insurance marketplace.
And we were lucky because this board that I'm a member of, we inherited the roof project from the board before they got it started. We brought it over the finish line. But so all of that's behind us. What is your outlook going forward? What are the things we need to have a discussion with the owners, with you, our broker, as we look at insurance in the future?
Well, let me start off by saying last year's marketplace was the worst I've ever seen it. We were seeing things last year that we've never seen before. I've been doing condo insurance in Sarasota and Manatee County for 29 years. Worst by far. I mean, hands down. The marketplace went crazy, and a lot of the carriers left the state. So we had a very challenging renewal, not just for you all, but for everyone out on the islands. There was question early on in the process, was probably April or so, when we started looking at this really heavily, if we were going to get full coverage, because associations that I was just renewing on the islands, some of them were not, and that's the first time ever.
See, that's the thing that probably kept me up at night more than anything else at Seaplace, is the fact that we have some unit owners that are mortgaged, and if we don't provide full coverage, then I don't even know what the then means. I don't want to find that out if we can't provide that. Right. But with your help, Brown & Brown, and your help, we brought it over the finish line.
We did bring it over the finish line, and I tell you, it is a tribute, and I'm not just saying this because you're sitting here, but to the board pushing your roofer.
It's okay.
It's okay. I can give you some credit.
I didn't have anything to do with it.
Your board and your team pushing the roofers.
They did.
And the roofing company did a great job of getting it done in an extremely tough market, because you were there in line with all the other associations out there needing to get their roofs done. If we did not get our roof project completed, we more than likely, I'd say probably 90% chance, would not have had full coverage.
So the good news is we've got that. We've got full coverage. We're working hard for some significant cost savings. I'll have more to say on that down the road without reducing coverage. So we'll see where that ends up. But let's talk about, so next August we have another renewal. That's not that far away. What do we have to do, and what are some of the, well, let me ask it this way. Is the market starting to recover a little bit in our favor?
Yeah, so I'm finally, the market was going like this, a steep hill for probably 18 months. I am just now starting to see it level off and plateau a little bit. Now, it's not going back down, don't get me wrong, but it's not that steep incline. So what that means is a couple more carriers are starting to come in the state. They're starting to feel more comfortable that the laws in Florida are going to protect them, and that's the reason they all left. They weren't getting any protection. So they said, we're not making money in Florida. Return on the investment is horrible. You know what? The hurricanes and then all these lawsuits, we're out of here. Now we fixed that through legislation that was passed in December of 2022 and effective in January of 2023. They get comfortable, they come back in, and then you get the competition again. So
we had no competition.
There was no competition. Literally, we were trying as hard as we could to get in the state pool. And let's be clear here. The state pool, everyone thinks, is the avenue of last resort. You think you can just get right in. And years ago, you could. Anybody could get in the state pool. And if you read their mission statement, it says, provide temporary placement for people that can't find it elsewhere. Well, that's not the case.
Correct.
Yeah, you ever see Allstate? They say you're in good hands, but then they remove the hands.
I understand.
Well, the state pool, you think they're going to cover you, but they were declining, a ton of business. So we had a big challenge, a big push to get our roofs done, to get compliance, and to get full coverage, and we succeeded. Now, moving forward, there's been 2 carriers in the last 8 months that do buildings like this, big buildings
That have come back in.
in.
Okay.
Does that mean we're going to be moving out of Citizens next year? I don't know if that does, but
Could
it
we
helps.
potentially be a candidate for those?
You could
two,
with the new
two
roofs.
companies?
Without new roofs, they wouldn't even look at you.
Okay.
So I know we were discussing before. They say, what can you do better out here at Seaplace? Think to yourself, you're on the Gulf of Mexico. You just got new roofs. I say your concrete buildings on the side. Your roofs are redone. The only thing, and we had talked about this, and it's a big deal because I just did it at my house. It's a real big deal, is impact glass. Outside of making the buildings 100% impact, you have done everything possible at this point to put yourself in the best position. Now, the market turns. So if the market turns and we have a bad hurricane season, I'm not a miracle worker. I do a lot of good things, but if there's nowhere to go and there's no tools in the shed for me to go to, we're in trouble. But from our standpoint, what we can do and what we did last year and working together, we're in the best possible position to market yourself going into August.
So a continued focus on what I call hurricane glass is important. Now, what we're doing here is the discussions we're having is Longboat Key would allow someone to put new glass on that's not hurricane rated as long as they have the shutters. So we're looking here, in the numbers I have out of our 461 units, and these numbers are a little bit old, so they may be better. We have 200 owners that already qualify out of the 461, and we had 60 a couple of months ago in process. So we're making good progress, but what I'm hearing right now is that we need to keep our focus on that. We need to make the buildings hardened. Is that correct?
100%. If you want to say, hey, Mike, I want to put ourselves, because you're going to live here. I mean, you're going to live. That's why I did mine. I said to my wife, I live east of 75 in Sarasota. I'm going to live there. I'm going to die there. I said, what do I need to do for myself to make sure I'm comfortable and get the best situation? I put impact glass in. These buildings are concrete. I mean, you're not going to move them. The new roofs are there. So to seal the envelope of the building, that last piece of the puzzle, and I know it's a big deal, but
so here's the challenge, and this is not rehearsed. Mike doesn't know I'm going to ask this, and I don't expect Mike to be able to answer this thing.
Okay.
So I want to stretch out the impact glass in the front door project as long as possible to make it more palatable for the owners. But there may be a day coming when the insurance company says, if you don't have this, my new company won't take you. How do we balance that decision? I'm not asking for the date because it doesn't exist. How do I balance that as a Seaplace leader?
Yeah, you take a look at it. I mean, it's a huge expense. I know it, and it's going to get more expensive. Because if I had done it 3 years ago, I'd have saved myself like half. And it's the what if, because if you don't do it soon, you're going to be saying, oh, we should have done it now. The key is this. We could get there because the carriers beat to their own drums. They literally will make a decision. If I'm a carrier and I write in Florida, I can say, you know what, now I only want impact glass. And you know what? I will fill my buckets because there's enough people that have impact glass somewhere along Florida lines. So you want to be in that bucket with those carriers.
Because they don't have, what I hear is they don't have to take us. They're going to get their full book of business with the type of associations they want.
Cherry picking.
Yes.
So if you're cherry picking, if you own an insurance agency and you're in it to make money, they're in it to make money.
Sure.
What are you going to do? You're going to look for new roofs because that's a big deal. The concrete's concrete. What else is going to secure that building? The impact glass.
So the big focus, and we're working hard on that right now to try to do what's fair for the owners, will be the glass in the front doors. Is there anything else we need to take a look at as we move forward to have us in the best shape?
I think the rest of it we've done. You know, we've worked on this program for years. You're in great shape everywhere else except for, and again, you're in great shape on top of it, but if you want, you're at A. If you want the A+, you get those impact glass. Other than that, you can't move the buildings. You can't change the construction of them or the height of them. It is what it is there. That's the only missing piece to get you to that A+ situation.
So what I want to do is balance what's fair to the owners and want to be in a position to have as many insurance companies knocking on your door for us.
Now, let's be clear, too. I want to be clear. Once you put these windows in, it's not a save-all. It's not like you're getting 50% credit off your premiums. It's not that way. It's a matter of that puts you in the best position. That opens up a couple carriers that wouldn't look at you prior that literally have guidelines. So, you know, you may get insurance 1 year where you wouldn't get it. Or you may get, you know, a carrier to look at you that wouldn't even turn your way. So it just gives you that extra perk, that best position possible.
And one of the interesting things, I'm going to deviate for a second, was surprising to me. The way it works in Florida, something I'd never been exposed to before. But down here, we don't go at Seaplace and pick insurance carriers to bid. We pick a broker. And that broker is then authorized. You're not allowed to go get any numbers until you're our broker of record,
Correct.
which you are. But until that happens, so you can't go out, let's say you bid and Tommy bids and Sue bids and all that kind of stuff. That can't happen because you can't go get numbers at that point. So it's kind of backwards a little bit. There's a term I use, I won't use it on film to describe that. But so that's kind of the dilemma as we go forward. So I wanted to come back and just share here in terms of where we've come as an association. We may have a very big announcement coming forward. We're trying to solidify a major savings. It looks like it's going to happen. I'm not going to put a number on it until we go through the inspection period, but I feel really comfortable about that. But right now, our focus on the board has left that. We're now focused on what do we do as we go forward. And what I'm hearing, no matter who I talk to, it's the hurricane glass, it's the hurricane shutters. Our front door project, we should see some design solutions in the next couple of weeks, and then we can put them in front of the owners because we have to choose one design for that. And then we can start talking about doors. So the board is focused on that kind of stuff. There is no timeline that's been laid out by the board right now. We're really trying to do the right thing. So as we move forward, what I'm learning from you is that the focus we have is the right focus.
Correct. We got you in line.
Okay. Anything else, Mike, that would be intriguing to our owners on this topic?
No, I think that you just got to have hope and realize that we're in Florida, and it's going to be wacky. You pay to live in the paradise, and remember, don't shoot the messenger. I'm just.
I don't necessarily agree with that, but go ahead.
They've tried to shoot me before, but then they realize I am on your team.
Yeah.
So my job is to find the best program for you and work with your team. And I can tell you what, we put in a ton of work last year to get you in the position. And like Mike said, there's probably some good news forthcoming, which you don't hear often in insurance. So this is a 1 in a million in the last 24 months. I'm not delivering any good news. So we're working to do the best job for you.
And Mike, I want to thank you for everything that you've done.
Appreciate it.
This is a team effort. We wouldn't be at this point without some couple strong board members. I'm going to single out Alan Zuckerman and Kurt Baker. We're going to have more. I'm going to come back and we're going to interview those folks. And those are the two I want to share the big announcement when the cost savings is official. So that's coming very soon.
Confetti.
Popcorn, Diet Coke for folks that know me. That's my drink of choice. But I'm really happy with where we're headed. But the thing is, the work isn't done. We've got more to do. And here's another thing. I've asked Alan, who's chairing our insurance committee, and he's agreed. We're going to sit down and with you, and we want to have a discussion on the bad word called deductibles. Because maybe it makes some sense to change it. I'll make up an absurd case here. If I can save, if I can raise my deductible $10,000 and save $15,000 on my insurance premium, I definitely want to do that. Probably not feasible, but we're going to have that discussion. I want to go through all the deductibles we have and make an informed decision. Like when I buy car insurance every year, I retake a look at my deductibles. Car insurance is so much easier and simpler than buying association insurance.
Yes, it is.
So more to follow. Again, Mike, thank you. I want to shake your hand one more time. You've been a big part of this thing. I appreciate it. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned. If you have any questions, my direct cell is 941-400-8735. Take care, everyone.